This is Cryptoad, and I'm back with another Top Shot video. I have a lot I want to talk about in this video. I'm going to quickly go through the site and just touch upon some updates that have happened. There's not too much, but then I want to take a deep dive into some of the sales history. I'm going to be looking at every single set that's been released, as well as a handful of the superstar players, just to kind of get a sense of how prices have moved, how things have been going. So let's just start off going page by page. We have the packs page. We can see that they cleared out a lot of the sold out packs. They left the Holo MMX Drop 2. There's currently the early adopters packs. There's about 3.3k left. There's a lot of the showdown packs. They only sold about 2,000. These two came out and they sold out pretty quickly. I was actually surprised. I was keeping tabs, as a lot of people were kind of saying maybe they were overprinting, maybe they weren't, but you know, there's demand for these. I think the biggest update has been on the individual moments themselves. So there's always a lot of discussion about what's retired, what's not, what does that mean exactly. So now they added this little LE symbol for limited edition. And even when you hover over it, you can see limited edition count as final. So this signifies this Kawhi Leonard, there's only going to be 1,256 minted. There's no more ever to be minted. And then when you look at this Bradley Beal, you see the CC for circulating counts. And the count may change. So that's this 1619 can increase in the future and be put in future packs. This can keep going up, but no matter what, this Kawhi Leonard base, there's only ever going to be 1256 minted. And I think that's kind of like the biggest update. They might have changed the text a little bit here. I'm not sure if these tabs were previously in it, but I was checking it out earlier. I thought it was interesting. This sets tab, once it loads, it shows the completed sets that you have. I'm sure you can look at this on other players' pages. Look at the showcases. Let's see. I don't think anything changed too much on showcase. Sets. I don't think too much changed on this page. I am not 100% sure if these like stickers are new or not. If I've never really noticed them. This looks kind of new, a deal of pushing people towards this new set. I think though the one thing that stuck out to me is we've seen this star here for the challenge. But when you go into this set, now on the one that's actually going to be a reward, it has this little symbol, view challenge. And when you click that, it takes you to the challenge page. So right now, there's currently 2 challenges open. You have the first round challenge. There's about 2 days left. When you get all 14, you get the Jokic moment. Denver Nuggets star, big man, flex some seriously fancy footwork in the key before joining a sweet rainbow jumper to help the Nuggets take their hard-fought first-round series against the Utah Jazz. Now you could flex your show-stopping first-round collection by completing this challenge and receiving this big-time moment as your reward. So you get all these. You get Nikola. Go back. This one, it's newer. There's about 8 days left. The semifinals challenge. So this one's kind of cool. Remember OG's game and season-saving dagger? With just half a second left on the clock, Toronto Raptors forward OG Anunoby caught the picture-perfect cross-court inbound pass from Kyle Lowry and nailed a stunning game-winning 3 to take Game 3 of the Eastern Conference semifinal series against the Celtics. Of course you remember it, and this unforgettable moment is only available if you complete this challenge. So you get 09 of these, you get OG. So that's about it for the site. Not too much. So the main thing I want to get into is sales history. So we're not going to be using Top Shot for this. If you haven't seen this page before, this was made by the Discord user Veerman. Very active in the Top Shot Discord. And the link currently, you can't see on the screen, it's happynyn.com/NBA Top Shot/sales.php. So this is version 1 of his tool, where you can see all historical sales data. And he's coming out with another version soon, but I really wanted to make this video for a while, so I didn't want to wait. But Veerman is the person to go to for this, and he actually helped me. If you've been following the Top Shot bot on Twitter, you'll see there's some sales that will just say a number and there's not much data about it. He found like a script that kind of fills in some of that missing data. You could even see his unknown transaction view. So I updated the bot actually this morning, so there's be a lot less of those missing data sales on Twitter. So how this works is you can search for a set or a player, a type of play, you can look for serial numbers. And what I like about this is that you don't have to. It's not an exact match. So if you just type in base, it automatically pulls in base set. If you just type in, this is as soon as I opened the site, I was like, okay, this is the first thing I did. I typed in Giannis, boom, and I was so happy to see that. So it kind of has like a search if contains string function, so that's cool. So I want to run through the 15 sets as well as a handful of players. So first, I'm going to start out with the legendary set. Just start with the big boys. Starting out with the Cosmic. So there have been 40 Cosmic sales with an average price of just over $1,000. So quickly sorting by price, we see that in the first few days of the marketplace, we saw that there was these two big LeBron James sales, $5,200 and $5,000. And then just a couple days ago, I haven't been too up to date. I actually remember seeing this, but I'm not too up to date with every single sale like I used to be. Another LeBron, number 12, sold for $4,000. And I remember this about a week prior, the number 1 Chris Paul sold for $4,000. People were pretty surprised at this. Maybe it was a diehard Chris Paul fan. Who knows? And is it the same person who bought number 3? No, but I can quickly see a same person, same seller. Buyer. Actually, yeah, so the same person, just quickly eyeballing it, they bought the Chris Paul number 1, the Chris Paul number 3, as well as the Rui number 8. And I can even see down here, wow, they put a lot. They got the Jimmy Butler number 2 and the Rui number 2. Oh, also down here, Rui. So we're big Rui fan, big Chris Paul fan, but so we can kind of see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 13 sales over 1,000, 14 if you want to include this 999. But there's not really a rhyme or reason to some of these serials, obviously besides 1 and 2, like a number 47. I mean Luka's Luka. Again, there's only 49 of these, and you can kind of see a big drop off once you get down to about 15 sales. What's the cheapest? I don't know, this must have been some weird thing where that they only sold for 10 or 15 bucks. In terms of legit sales, you got a Reggie Bullock for 150, CD Osman. Seems to be some of the quote unquote lower tier players. There's a lot of Rui action going on. I think that's that same buyer. Let's quickly sort of my serial. Let's see. So that Chris Paul is the only number 1 that sold. So we have the Rui Butler number 2. So you can see the first few are demands a huge premium. You have a number 5 CD. You have number 6 V. So these were much less. These are probably good deals. These are bought kind of a few weeks after marketplace release. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time because we have a bunch to get to. So if you want to take a deeper dive, in the future I want to export all this data and kind of put together something. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of run through this quick. Now let's look at the Holo. So it's only been 13 sales for 370. I was pretty surprised to see that there was so few. So the big sales, you have Luka for 1,000 and Giannis for 900. No special thing about their serial. I don't think that's not Giannis' number. I don't think that's Luka's number. Maybe. You have Embiid and Embiid. So these are like the big 3 sales. After that, you see a huge drop off. This Devin Booker was probably a good buy. These are probably all good buys. There's the same amount of Holos as Cosmics. There's only 49. I think everyone just kind of, when you think about the legendaries, you kind of go straight to the Cosmics and the Holos and the from the top, which we'll look at next. Kind of take a back seat. There hasn't been any single digit sold. I mean, I have a Holo Kyrie Irving. That's like the only legendary I have, and I put it up for a lot of money. But I just thought it's very interesting that there's been so few sold. Less than half of the Cosmics. And then the last one is from the top. I could have sworn there were sales. Oh, I guess we're not looking at that today. I assume there were some sales at some points. Alright, so then let's quickly move on. Again, it's just like, it doesn't matter because Cosmic is like the big one. So now let's move into the common stats. We're getting to the base. So one thing with this site is that, I think this is going to be updated in the future, you can only see the last 500 sales. So when you have those expensive sets, it doesn't really matter because again, there's only like 40 in like the 2 months or so that the marketplace has been out. But when you go look at the commons and the base sets, there's been over 500 sales in less than a week. So right now we can kind of only filter for every single sale in the past week or so. But then if you want to kind of start drilling down at specific cereals or players, that's when you can kind of start seeing things getting interesting. So I guess just looking at the past week, let's just see kind of what happened. There actually was some action. The number one Jimmy Butler sold for 600, and the number one Zubac sold for 225. You have Enes Kanter and Kawhi. Number 8 Kawhi for 100. It's actually pretty interesting. Again, these were all the cheapest cards to get. You get a $9 pack. You get a couple of these. If you get lucky, you get one of these number ones. While we're here, since you can't look around, I'm curious to see all the number one base sets. So here's all the number one base set sales. Jimmy was the biggest one. Zubac, number 2. Let me just filter it. Tyler Herro. This is a great pickup, probably. The Herro for 300. You got Bam, Zubac, Brogdon, Gary Harris. I think most people are kind of holding on to like the superstar number ones that they managed to grab. Just for fun, let's look at number 2 quick. Westbrook, Zion. Nothing too crazy. But you get the picture. I would love to do like a full base set analysis, but again, the limitation of that 500 makes it a little difficult right now. Interesting to see the average price was 10, but there's a bunch of big sales like this, like average did. Next, let's look at the early adopter. I don't know what the deal is with this pack, to be completely honest. Let's see. Okay, so this is every single sale. Average price is $5, so this is even less than base set. Wow, the highest sale is only 60 for Kevin Huerter, number 11. That was yesterday. I actually remember seeing that on Twitter. Interesting. Karl-Anthony Towns, Colin Sexton, Mike Conley, Caruso, Kristaps, Josh Hart. There's a bunch of like $30 sales. Nothing really crazy here. Let's look at low cereals. Nothing too crazy went. Enough of that. And then let's look at the newest set, the Hometown Showdown. So there's been 143 sales of these. Average price of just under $8. I don't want to mess up the video, but we can see that the biggest sale has been $100 Kawhi, number 39, and then it drops off big time. 60 for Pascal, Drummond, Pascal, Dinwiddie, pretty cheap. Let's look at some cereals. Wow, there hasn't been any cereal below. Number 34, 9.5. I'm not 100% sure how many circulating there are of these. Let me look quick. I think I have one. Let me look at the marketplace. So there's a good amount of these, but I think this set kind of fell between the cracks, between the playoffs and the bubble and stuff. So let's move on. Now let's get into the rares. There's a bunch of rares we want to get into. So first is the metallic gold. So it's been over 500. So this is dating? Okay, this is dating back just over a month. So missing some of the beginning data, but let's just take a look. So the number one Trae Young for 700. Just a couple days ago. There's been a lot of volume in the past like 2 or so weeks as more people are entering the platform. So that's good to see. A lot of like the OG like beta people are kind of just faded out. They're not as involved in every single day like they were. There's fresh blood coming in, getting involved, getting excited. I don't know, Miles Turner for, I don't know what the deal is with this. Then you have a Zion, and you have a bunch of Giannis's in a row. Wow. I'm looking to see if there's any consistent buyer. I see this one E1 guy. He bought a 200 Giannis. So he bought a bunch of Giannis's. Even down here, he bought a Zion. So yeah, I mean the main superstars have kind of been on everyone's radar. Kind of been the biggest movers. Let's quickly look at cereals. So we see that besides the Trae Young, this Josh Richardson also went for 200. Wow, number 7, Seth Curry for 9. So people just, I don't know, I don't think they're paying attention. They're just like whatever. They just want to like dump stuff. Who knows? This is probably fake. I don't know what the deal is with this $1 one. So even like a number 299 John Moran for 81, it's actually interesting. Cause some people try to make the argument that 299 out of 299 is like, you know, the same thing as 1 out of 299 to the back end. Let's just check out some number 1s. It's only been 3 sales. Wow. I wish you could put like a range like under 10. I don't even know if this is gonna work, but I doubt it. No. So number 2s. Alright, $100, $250. Please looking through these. Alright, you got the picture. Let's get rid of this. Let's look at the rookie debut. This is probably the hottest rare set by far. I'm actually really interested to see the deal here. 243 sales. It almost seems like there's more than that. Average sale price 116. So let's see. Let's look. The number 1, Tyler Herro. And he was like going off in the bubble, I believe. Was the one that went 1,500. Wow, holy crap! I'm just seeing right now the top 5 sales are all the same buyer on there, and I even see him down here. So you have the Herro 1,500, Pascal number 1 1,000, Kobe White 1,000, number 2 John Moran for 800. Wow, that's just how this set's been moving. That's probably going to be a great long-term buy. And then it not quickly drops off. It's still pricey, but you see the number 3 PJ Washington 400, John Morant for 400. This was a good deal. And then a John Moran 23 for 300. That's cool. And then you see all these John Morans. Wow. So all these went for 250. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 John Morans. All for at least 229. So you have 10 John Morans, including the other one up here. 11. Wow. More John. Wow. I think it just goes to show like people are kind of equating this to like seeing all these big record sales. LeBron card for 1.8 million. I even think yesterday or the day before a Giannis rookie broke that record, sold it for like 1.812 million. So will these rookie debut sets be like the future equivalent of like the Panini physical trading cards? We don't know. Only time will tell. But people are making huge bets on this set compared to even some of the legendary sets, let alone the other rare sets. I believe there's only 299 of this. I forgot a lot of these details. 250 of these, yeah. Very interesting. Let's look at the cheapest one actually. So people managed to get some cheaper. This is like right when the marketplace came out. You see all these cheap sales. People were just looking to offload that, bought a ton of cards, and they probably regret this now. Serials. You got 1s. You got 2s. 3s, 4s. Wow, so you can see a lot of the low serial moved in comparison to the other sets that I showed so far. Very interesting. Next up, for the win. Yeah, I have a 1 for the win card, only 87 to 27, not the most popular set. Rudy, his top 2 sales, Bradley Beal, nothing really too interesting sticking out here. Maybe in time some of these sets will pick up steam, but Melo was the 2 lowest serial sold. Nothing too interesting for me to kind of see here. Let's look at this guy bought a bunch of them. 639. I see him all over the place. Beal, Russell, Rudy, Levine, Melo. Wow, so this guy bought a bunch. Denied. It's only 6 value, even less, 64. Average price 43. Oh my god, it's literally Siakam and Zion. So the number 1 was Siakam, number 4 for 150. And then you just see dominated by Zion, but it's not even. There's some repeat buyers. I see 444, but it looks different for the most part. Ranging between 135 to 80 with no special serial at all. Not even low. The lowest one you see is this 26. Then you got Siakam again. And then you start getting well below the $30 mark. So I'm sure there's a bunch of good pickups for some of these sets that I'm showing on the marketplace now. I'm not going to go through that on this video, but I just want to focus on the history, not what's available currently. Looking at cereals, wow, it hasn't even been like anything really low. Just the Siakam that went for the most, and then so people might be holding on to these. Maybe some will get posted. Maybe some are posted for a lot of money. Who knows? Let's quickly look at throwdowns. 238, average price 23. So we got AD, number 1 and 2, 150, 106, 105, and then quickly drop more AD, and then quickly dropping off to 50 and below. Wow, I see a lot of Anthony Davis. And again, I should have mentioned this for the metallic gold, but don't forget that for some of these challenges, you need some of these subsets to complete that. I remember the Anthony Davis for the metallic gold was one of them that everyone kind of jumped on. But I don't think there's a throwdown challenge. And if I'm wrong, my apologies. I actually think there was a throwdown challenge. I'm gonna quickly look. Because I remember there was a throwdown challenge. Because there was 9 cards in the first drop and 9 cards in the second drop. But they ended up doing the challenge. I had the first 9. That doesn't include Anthony Davis, but you needed him for this Westbrook challenge, so that's why you see him there. Okay, that makes sense. What's next? With the strip, this is a very interesting one. Wow, it's over 500. I think this was a really popular challenge. This was the first challenge, so it was popular. It has most of the sales back to the beginning of August, besides the first week. So the highest ones were, so you have the first 2, Chris Middleton and Cam Reddish, random cereals. Then you have the Ja Morant was the reward. I remember right when this drops, people were kind of scooping up around the $100 for the reward, not really knowing, kind of taking that risk. And is the price just gonna pump as this is a reward? No one really knew what to expect. I'm just curious what the deal is with that now. I have I definitely want to complete it. I got like a random one, number 103. Oh yeah, so that's what I figured. It's been hovering around the $100. Cool. So yeah, the difference is that there's 500 as opposed to like 300 or 250, and then with the other rare sets. I don't know if we'll see another 500 set. But who knows? Interesting. The lowest cereal. I don't know if this is, there's some, sketchy business going on with some of these lower sales, or if people were just trying to just moving whatever they could, just getting something for these. You're almost done. We got 3 more. Quickly look at So Fresh. 450 for 42. So here we go. I was waiting for Bron to jump up. So the number 1 LeBron James went recently, about 5 days ago, for 2,500. The number 1. The LeBron James, you saw in the Kazakh set, are just demanding such a higher price. And again, you see some of those stars. Zion, number 1 Bol Bol. This was his first. He was released by Top Shot. That went for 800. There's a lot of low cereals I see here, but you can kind of see after the first few it gets. And just below 200, down to 100 quickly. Looking at cereals, a bunch of number 1s went. Wow. So you have, I can't even read this right now. Him for 200, Bol Bol for 800, 250. Then you got LeBron, Ben Simmons, and Jaylen Brown. Then the number 2s, Fox, Alexander, Iguodala, OG. So a fairly new set. And then the new playoff sets. First round. Number 1 James Harden went for 1,000. That's interesting. I didn't even realize that. So that was about a week ago. And then AD for 500, number 1. Jason Tatum for 500 for number 1. And then quickly dropping to 300s, 200s, and 100s for Giannis. Another LeBron. Luka. The Luka cards got hot. I remember after Luka hit that game winner, everyone started buying all his cards across the sets. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how some of that real-time movement and the NBA affects Top Shot values, especially I think right after Ja Morant won Rookie of the Year, it was a similar story that a lot of the Ja Morant started moving. Now the last one, the conference semifinals, the last set. This is the newest one. 213 moments, average price of 25. Nothing too crazy. You have a Jokic for 150, Jamal Murray 135, LeBron. These are good prices, I guess. I'm not sure what the... Oh, there's 275. Okay, so they're pretty rare. Quickly looking at cereals, so there hasn't even been too low of a cereal sold. Alright, so now that's all the sets. And now I just kind of want to get into a handful of individual players, obviously starting with the man himself. So, looking at LeBron. We have those big sales, those big 3 cosmic sales, and the So Fresh sale. And then you see a huge drop off. You can just see here, this tells the story, the cosmics are just so valued, as well as the number 1s and the lower cereals. I actually thought that there would be more larger sales, but I think he kind of has. I'm assuming he has the highest average price among players right now. What's the lowest he went for? That's not 20. Let's look at this. So the lowest was 20 a couple days ago, base set. It's actually a really good deal. I'm sure there's a bunch of deals from people who just want to sell whatever they can right now. Very interesting. Still the highest cereal that he went for. An 84 for 36. Pretty interesting. Next, Giannis. I also know there's some missing Giannis data here. So when you click his unknown transaction view, I saw that there were some big Giannis sales from the top. Yeah, like that wasn't working before. I'm actually confused. I'll try that again at the end. But we see his number 1 from the top and his jersey number. Went for a lot, and I guess I didn't see this. The Zion Hollow also was missing from the data. All the same buyers. Oh, let's go back. So besides those 2 sales, the 2 from the top sales for Giannis, you're at 900, and then quickly drops off to 250 and below after that. It doesn't have like the really same. Wow, so he sees a third of the LeBron average sale price. So there was 142 Giannis sales. How many LeBrons were there? 190. Okay, I thought maybe that'd be less, but I'm actually surprised. I thought people would want to hold on to LeBron more so than this. Looking at his cereals, the lowest one went for number 2 Giannis went for 80. That was like about 2 weeks ago. Very interesting. Moving on, Ja Morant. Wow, it's over $100. Cosmic went for 1,400. Then you look at all these rookie debuts. Jumping on the rookie debuts. All rookie debuts. Oh my god. Not even just from Rookie of the Year. I see some, even some late July, early August sales in here. But most went for around $200, $300. Lowest cereal, the number 2 went for 800. Nothing too interesting after that. Lowest price, $2. Wow. I mean, it's a base set, but like you can get a Ja Morant for $2. Why not? Next, Zion. Whoops. This has to be missing. I mean, some data. Let me just see here if there's more Zions. Okay, so we have the 850 Hollow MMX sale. It's really the only big one that's missing. So we have that Hollow MMX. It just seemed like there's always been a lot of Zion sales. I guess they're volume-wise there was, but they weren't. The average price is still, it's a little bit higher than Giannis. Half of Ja Morant. and a third of LeBron. I would have thought there was a 4-digit sale here. Not even for Cosmic or any Cosmic team. All people are probably holding on to the Cosmics for that. Cheapest was a high serial base for 10. At least he doesn't have a single-digit sale. This is a good deal. 70 for number 16. So now I want to look at Jamal Murray just because he's been blowing up during the playoffs. So let's kind of see what his deal's been. So you can see, right, just as I suspected, the conference semifinals, number 7 went for 135. So here's the first round conference semifinal. You see these playoff sets where he started when he was doing, as he's still doing really well, which he's still in this. You see a lot of those playoff sets with him. I mean, there's not like a million high sales. You see it goes up well below 20 kind of quickly, but I thought it was just going to be interesting. You see all these cheap sales. It's just going to be interesting over time to see how the real-time play affects some of these valuations. Next, Jimmy Butler is kind of, I wouldn't say it's the same story. He's always been a superstar, but he was like, I was just surprised since I got into Top Shot how he just wasn't considered at like such a superstar caliber level, like the other people that I've, like LeBron and Giannis that I've pulled up. But like he always wins. He's always in the playoffs, no matter what team he's on. Yeah. So you see the number 2 Cosmic, 1250, base set number 1 for 600. A bunch of Cosmics I moved for him. Metallic gold. Let me see if there was any missing. Big Jimmy sales missing. There's some cheap ones. Here you got some conference semifinals. People started paying attention to him again. On Top Shot at least. I bought a metallic gold of Jimmy Butler for like really cheap, I remember, a couple weeks back. And I assume I also am responsible for some of these $1, $2 sales because I just couldn't believe how cheap they were back when I was buying a few weeks ago. And then the last player and thing I want to look at is just Anthony Davis, just another superstar. Let me just make sure there's nothing missing here. It's cheap. So we had his for number 1 went for 500 in the first round. Well, I thought there'd be more sales from him. There probably will be more higher sales. Actually, pretty surprised how low this is, and this is a similar story as Jimmy Butler. People are kind of pushing some of these superstars as a side thought. I don't know if it was people who were just joining Top Shot that don't have like the expert NBA knowledge. I just think of like LeBron and Giannis, and the very top few guys that are just always in the media and everything. But I mean, AD is basically pretty close to LeBron level. Let me just try what didn't work before. They're from the top. Let me just see if I can. Let's try. Alright, well, it's not working. But that's kind of all I wanted to get into for now. I know I went through that quick. I wanted to cover a lot. I hope that was helpful for people. Just to kind of understand pricing and valuations of some of the top players, some of the different sets. You can see the clear differences between the common, the rare, and the legendary. Trying to put out some more videos. I know it's been like a month or so since I made the last one. So again, if you have any questions, concerns, jump into the Discord. You can ask me, you can ask anybody. Again, shout out to Veerman for putting together this tool. A new and improved version is going to be coming out really soon. That's also going to be help for just price discoverability and things like that. Maybe I'll make another video soon. It's kind of different deals in the marketplaces, but I hope this has overall been very helpful. And have a nice day, everybody.